That's the grindstone. Oh. Say welcome.
Oh, I hear you're good at welcoming people. I hear you welcome people on a fairly regular basis, you bastard. Sorry, you will be.
Hello, Nigel. They're better than spring Saturday morning here in the school and in the school assembly.
Hello, I'm Susan. I'm new here. I'm
The new head of foreign languages.
how fast.
Well, only when it's important news and the person is newsworthy.
I wouldn't say I was newsworthy.
Well, welcome anyway. This is Niles, head of mathematics.
And IT.
Amanda, head of English.
And editor of the school magazine. So I do sometimes wonder which of the two is more important to the school. What with its eye on media relations and publicity, etc.
Hello to you all anyway. So, we're all here to plan the forthcoming school assembly.
Some come here because their home life is so empty.
Yes, I'm planning the assembly, and I'm not without important props that any good assembly giver should never be without. A clock, a fork, and a picture of a fire.
Time is running out. The devil wants even help on us.
Now you shall have to wait and see. He, or she, who waits shall receive.
Oh, good at that, aren't you? Giving.
Yeah, strictly speaking, it's not me giving the assembly, but I'm in charge of it. We have a compulsory group of volunteers and the children, and then we put on an assembly.
Well, I hope it puts us all in a good mood for the year. Last term I seemed to live here with the hours I kept. I hope you're all rested.
Hardly. Christmas is a time for arguments, sadness, tears and ritual humiliation.
You were Santa Claus, yes?
Oh, how did you guess? However, I wasn't the only one giving early Christmas presents.
So, Ben, don't keep me in suspense. I was right about the devil and the clock.
Well, the theme is well-being.
Huh?
This is all about making as many people as happy as possible. The Ben way.
Well, not exactly. Well-being is... Sorry, one second. Well-being is the state of being happy, healthy or successful.
Ah, so Liegman's authentic happiness. I positive emotion, engagement and meaning.
No, I didn't know we had a team psychologist here.
Part of my degree.
Well, Goff define well-being as what people are notionally able to do and to be, and what they have actually been able to do and to be. Shall I read on?
Oh, no need. We all admire your work in bringing happiness and well-beingness to others.
Well, anyway, I thought I was going to bring in components about truth and trust. And this assembly will concentrate on just...
Hello, everyone. Thank you all for coming. I know it's the beginning of the year, your free time, etc., so thank you. I'd first like to officially welcome Susan to this meeting. In case some of you don't know, Susan is the new head of languages and has kindly offered to be part of this assembly committee.
We've done all the introduction.
Probably more for the benefit of Susan then, just a reminder that this committee is purely to talk about the components of the assembly or assemblies forthcoming. So, nothing about individual children, academic subjects, or even the joy of teaching year 11. That said, I do feel that congratulations are in order for the way in which the final week before Christmas went. A week of prize giving, house competitions, and who can forget the magnificent sum of £356 and 45 pence collected for the Manor Old People's Home. I'd also like to mention the very last assembly coordinated, orchestrated perhaps is a better word, by Niles. The streaming display showing the history of the school using time delay photography juxtaposed with a history of the earth with a Christ-like figure in the background and background music of Enya. Astonishing! And to have the Jones triplets from year 6 as the three wise indeed men, a master stroke. And then to switch to Buddha in a pizza shop. The organisers of the Olympic Games opening ceremony somehow missed out on you, Niles, head of maths. Thank you for that. Very thought-provoking.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was also funny to set one element in a pizza shop and having Buddha entering and asking for one with everything. Very good. And talking to the Buddhist vacuum seller going bust.
Going bust? Why?
Well, the sales are down. No one would buy the vacuum cleaners because they came without attachments. No attachments, they're in your own. And the pizza man refusing to give the banker change because change comes from within.
To be fair, none of those ideas were mine. I just provided the technical backup. I did spend long hours here though, especially Wednesdays. Rarely did I get home before 8 o'clock that night.
Nevertheless, all very good, and as I said, thought-provoking. This should be the fundamental aim of the assemblies, to get the children to think, to ask questions, to pause and reflect. A step towards enlightenment, perhaps. I also think that the involvement of staff, for example through this committee, all helps foster a positive atmosphere here at St Andrews. This is important. Fee-paying schools are suffering under this government, and we are no exception. Already the January intake is predicted to be lower than last year. This is neither the time nor the place to discuss this, but I hate to use these words, but the children are all mini customers. And what happens here is often relayed to a wider audience, families, for example. This first assembly will be attended by the whole school, the trustees and the board of governors. The local press and radio will be along too.
And we'll also be live streaming it on our YouTube channel.
Exactly, so potentially the audience will be worldwide.
Have you been involved in assemblies before?
Yes. At my previous school, St Ignatius Roman Catholic School in Newcastle, the school was generally very strict, and assemblies were always very conventional, safe even. So reading from the Bible, school hymns. Although I think more recently we had poetry readings. Yes, we had that thing about invulnerable nothings.
And in mad trance, strike with our spirit sword, invulnerable nothings, we decay.
I didn't know you were a Shelley fan, Ben.
I'm not. I used to be a fan of Rolling Stones though. That thing about invulnerable nothings, that used to be on a poster on my wall when I was 18.
Which wasn't that long ago. Anyway, moving on. As you can see, Susan, things are a little different here. Each month one member of this committee takes it upon themselves, I like to think, grasps the opportunity to be cohesively constructive, provocatively poignant, to work with a group of children, to perform an assembly for about 20 minutes. Nothing too controversial, just something to make people think in a positive way, which will then have benefits throughout the school, often intangibly. Ben volunteered. If I remember correctly, your topic was going to be on well-being, wasn't it?
Yes, that's right, well-being. But initially I thought about talking about the doctrine of oneness, touted in Islam, and then I would illustrate how the omnipotence idea is still very common in Abrahamic religions. Can we trust what we've been told? Do we think what we know?
And those props of yours.
Thank you. Time represented by a clock, which we think exists. Could it be an illusion? And yet some people think does not exist.
The fork.
Hell represented by a fork and a picture of fire. Perhaps it does. And this is the point where I'm going to branch off to a short play about showing a sinner being stopped by St. Peter and having to take account for his actions.
Please, tell me he isn't a banker.
No, it doesn't matter what he does. We don't know what he does. All we know is what will happen when they being the angels, don't let him in.
He goes to hell.
Yes, and that's the point where again when I say I mean a sinner, it's going to throw out a question to the angels, which is actually going to be the audience.
The question being?
Well, simply, if everything comes from God, why did he create evil? Can such a God be trusted? Anyway, I'm going to bring in all such components, self-actualization, well-being, and so on, and I'm going to base the whole assembly around trust, in God.
Oh, for Christ's sake, this is sanctimonious bullshit.
None of that type of language.
I'm sorry, it's like a crap.
Sorry?
This may be the school holidays, but we are still at an official meeting. Language moderated, dignity maintained, learning takes place.
Trust. You haven't the faintest idea what trust actually means. No, I'm sorry, I can't take such crap coming from someone who... Oh.
Please, continue. I mean, assemblies are all about encouraging others to question.
Oh, don't give me that lovey-dovey, caring, sharing stuff, as if you care.
Now's enough.
Look, I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry, it's just that... Well...
Look, I just want to talk about the idea for the assembly. It's about well-being.
Yes, but you only care about your well-being.
Right, that's it. I'd like to see both of you in my office straight away.
What? This is my spare time. I'm leaving right now. Clearly there are some issues here that have nothing to do with me, and neither are they of interest to me. Susan, come with me.
I don't know what any of this is about. Niles, you seem stressed, mate.
First of all, I am not your mate. Although, you have been mating, if you like, with my wife.
This is none of my business. I think the best thing is to leave you two alone. Thinking about it, I think you better both sort this out elsewhere. Remember this, keep your private life private, not on school premises.
I'm sorry, but I don't know what any of this is about.
Then I need to talk to you about the assembly.
Careful to keep your knickers on.
Is this how you perform in front of the children?
Sorry. It's just all been very stressful. And it's all your fault, Ben. Let's see. We're not here to talk about timetabling, but... Okay. Wednesdays, what's Niles doing? Oh yes, slogging away preparing the Christmas assembly. What's Ben doing? Period 8. Ah yes, having sex with my wife Teresa.
What?
In a car park. Tesco's of all places. What do most people do when they finish work? Pop into Tesco's to do some shopping perhaps? Oh yeah. Not our Ben, no. Oh, it isn't popping in all right, but not into Tesco's.
Not me, mate.
That kind of crap.
Both of you, out! Ben, wait a minute. Keep going, Niles. Listen, Ben, I don't care about any of this. But what I do care about is the effect on the school, on the ethos of the staff. We're about to start a new term and we're teaching well-being, for goodness sake. Think how this is going to play.
I'm
I
sorry.
haven't finished.
Okay.
Think how this is going to play out. Keep things private. Now, you're both adults. Speak to Niles. You were best man at his wedding, weren't you? Sort it out. Now go.
Look, Niles, whatever you may think.
I don't think, I know. Teresa told me all about it on Christmas Eve. Tears of sadness, guilt, and then mine were joy, but mine were anger. She told me all about your sick and seedy meetings.
It was once. She said...
Oh, no, don't give me that crap. You met regularly for a whole month. Yeah. As I said, Teresa told me all about it. That was my Christmas Eve. You were having sex with my wife in a car park. Oh, what about Sundays, huh? She said she had a regular hotel booking with you every Sunday morning. Whilst at the time, she said she was going to church.
Look. She was unhappy. She came to me and...
Oh, don't give me that it takes two to tango crap. She said you made all the moves. You went on about how your home life was so empty.
Yeah, me and my wife were separated.
I don't want to know. Just because that part of your life is so empty doesn't give you the right to make others feel the same. Especially me. We were friends.
Look, I'm so sorry. Look, it was really nothing. It was just, you know, a couple of Wednesdays and Sundays, but really it meant nothing. I'm so sorry.
Let me tell you how this is going to work, shall I? Two things. We have to work together. I want to stay with my wife. I don't hate you anymore. I'm angry with you, maybe a little with myself. But most of all, with myself. I should have seen this coming. You with your brash appeal, my long hours spent working on the assembly, you with your flash car.
I sold it.
Not the point! I don't care what car you drive, but you go out to impress. For fuck's sake, Teresa and I have been married for 5 years.
I was married for 3 years.
I don't care! You, it's not about you. It's not about me either. It's about my marriage. I haven't had time to think though.
Yes, I had that coming.
We have to work together. But it doesn't mean the same we have to like each other.
Look, I'm sorry.
This is how I am going to deal with it. Never mention it again. Never ask about my social life. In fact, any event that's part social, part work, I don't want you to attend.
But,
You know, like the end of week Friday night drink-ups, the occasional lunchtime takeaway.
oh look, you can't stop me from that.
Oh yeah, you're right. But try to get it in your minute brain, and the fact that every time I see you away from a work environment, I don't think of you as a teacher, but as a human being. Where in actual fact, you're less than that. You betrayed me. You caused Teresa to betray me. And that's for your own wife.
Oh look, we've separated, remember? Months ago, not because of this. This is why it happens, mate.
The bit of meat, the spare, oh, my wife doesn't understand me, let me fuck you approach.
It was never like that.
I don't want to know what it was like. I don't want to know you. I work with a nameless teacher. We go to meetings. End of. We do not go to social functions. Clear? Right. You have an assembly coming up.
So?
I want you to make it a one-person assembly.
What?
Are you familiar with Confessions by Enya?
No.
Here are the lyrics to Confessions. Read them. Aloud.
Who can say why your heart sighs? As you spout your lies, seeing no pride. To trust you confess by the look in your eyes. You love lies, you love your crime.
Right. I will set up streamed music of Confessions as the assembly starts. Then, as the curtain parts, you'll be at the front, kneeling, wearing a long robe and a full face mask.
What?
You will then make your confessions at school.
What?
Not about you and my wife, no. That would hurt her and harm me. No, you've done enough harm to us. You will confess about everything you've done wrong in school. How you've skived off lessons early. How you've let children smoke when travelling to conferences. Not read essays properly before marking them. Posted notes on kids' Facebook pages using a pseudonym as you criticise the head. I recognise your IP. Given too much help with coursework. Favoured the prettier female A-level students. Sent your Easter course leaflets to parents of children doing badly. You'd access the computer, the school computer, to get addresses. I know you've done this, and you will ask for forgiveness.
No.
No?
No.
We could always tell the head you made it up. She might believe someone as trustworthy as you. Then, at the end of the confession, you'll stand up, you'll take a bow and say, "Thank you all for hearing my confession." And on the screen behind you, I'll put a rolling script about the key components of well-being or something, and how being honest and bearing your soul, that bloody sector, is good for you. And that can be the end of the assembly.
The end of the assembly and my career. There is absolutely no way I'm doing that, Niles.
Remember, as head of maths, I'm also in charge of IT.
So?
I work in IT, information technology. I'm head of information technology.
I heard you. So?
But just think what I have access to. Which records? Whose records? Keys to change, complaints about a teacher on file, inappropriate behaviour in the classroom, perhaps a whiff of paedophilia.
What?
On student forums, I can say I heard rumours about you, naming you. And then on other forums later refer to the first rumours, and eventually files would be accessed and people would see the complaints.
But there aren't any complaints.
Ah, not yet. But there might be some coming in through email proxies. Oh, then there's the photos.
What photos?
There's always photos at school events.
So what?
Events like Christmas parties, where, say, only you and children from years 4 and 5 are in shot.
What?
Bit of judicious cropping here and there, photoshopping. It doesn't take much to create suspicion.
You wouldn't?
Who would employ someone who, allegedly, has a history of inappropriateness? Someone whose pictures, skillfully doctored nobody would notice, appeared on Facebook pages and privacy settings have been ignored. There've always been doubts. And as for your wife, even though you are separated, do you really think she won't be associated with a suspected paedophile?
You wouldn't.
Just watch. Oh, how's your son Tom? About 4 now, isn't he? Does he have any bruises?
From football.
So you said. I thought you of all people. The best man at my wedding. I never thought you'd...
Ben, still here. Come in. Have you sorted things out? Whatever happened to your face?
Like those statues, spontaneous and broken.
Rubbish. What happened?
Self-harm. I banged my head against the table as if to bang my head against a brick wall, preparing for parents' evening.
Not funny. Seriously?
Really, this is nothing.
Listen. Niles did tell me about you and Teresa. He wanted me to sack you. Unprofessional conduct. Conduct likely to be disruptive. He came to see me earlier and we had a long chat.
And?
I told him to either put it in the back of his mind or to confront you. I was angry with my friend, I told my friend why Rob did end, etc., etc.
You certainly told me it's wrong.
Look, we all have to work together. There can be no problems in teamwork. Do you think you're both going to be able to be colleagues?
Yes. Look, I promise no one's going to hear about it from me.
Good. It's none of my business, so don't make it so. Now, I've been thinking about your assembly, the well-being topic. Trust, yes, but stability and tolerance too, especially tolerance.
Yeah, I've got a new idea for the assembly.
Oh, good. It is.
I'm going to make it a one-person assembly. Myself, heavily disguised as mankind, teacher kind.
Yes.
Excuse me, headmistress.
Yes.
There's some police outside.
Police?
Yes, several in fact.
What? Why here?
They didn't say. There's 3 of them, one in uniform. They didn't say why they're here. They just said they need to speak to the head teacher immediately. They're waiting for you in reception right now. They look very concerned.